Hello and welcome back to another trade recap. Today we took a trade, and I say that with excitement because the last week I've sat out of the market literally the whole week, and that's not because I was busy. It wasn't because I didn't want to trade that week, like that wasn't optional. It was just simply because price wasn't showing me anything, so I didn't find an entry the whole of the week. So today I actually found one. And this setup was super clear to me. It did take a little bit to actually believe that it was where price was going, but I could see it on the charts. I'll show you guys why, but I basically had a little bit of an attachment to the last ICC setup that didn't really fully form, and it didn't give me an entry, and price went by itself. But I'll show you guys anyway. We'll just get straight into it. But so I'll show you guys the trade on my trade seller. But I trade on a $2,000 account, so I only risked 1%. So if you're here to see me say I made $1 million, I definitely did not. I made $20, but it's not about, to me, it's not about the money. To me, it's just about actually getting experience with emotions and getting some experience in the markets because I'm a beginner. So yeah, and I trade ICC before you start wondering while I'm doing my analysis. Basically, let's go to the 4 hour first. So we've got this setup, which I identified last week for like the weekly analysis. And is this the weekly analysis? I can't remember. It was either the weekly analysis or morning analysis. But basically, I marked out these two zones, price is bullish above. And you can see here on a high time frame, on the 4 hour, it looks like price has made an indication and you'd want to see a correction if you trade ICC. And that's what I wanted to, like, not what I wanted to see, but that's what my ideal mind was like, okay, that would be perfect because the 4 hour aligns, the 1 hour aligns. But then let's zoom in on the 1 hour. What has price already done? Hold on, actually, let me just go to the 4 hour. Okay. Because I think on the 1 hour, it looks like there's 3 equal highs here. Maybe it's just 2. Maybe I think I'm looking at the wrong spot. We'll see it later. But anyway, what can you see that price has already done? Price has already made a correction on a lower time frame back to this level. So I was really attached, and the whole time I was just wanting to see price go all the way. Where's my path tool? It's so easy to explain with the path tool, I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes my life so much easier because that way you guys don't have to listen to me yap, and you can just see it for yourself. But I wanted to see price go all the way down here and then make some bullish structure and go above this level so that I could catch price up here. That's what I want to see in an ideal world. However, from looking at price, I can see that price most likely doesn't want to do that. It's been pushing all-time highs super aggressively, and here it's already made a correction back to this level, so why does it need to correct again? And then when you go here, so here's basically the new high, so then price makes an indication, it makes a correction and a continuation. Price has done it again. Price has gone above this level and pulled back to catch liquidity, rebalance, whatever you want to call it. I learned ICT, I've had a lot of people asking about ICT, but I learned ICT originally, but I decided to trade ICC because it's so much clearer. There's not too much chaos going on. It's very clear. It's just market structure, price action, and I love that. But I sometimes talk in ICT terms, but my ICT terms are not the best because I never got fully like ingrained in it. Like I didn't fully get into it, but yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. But you can see prices obviously rebalanced here, made a new high, made an indication, correction. And now all of these look super small, but I'm on the 1 hour. So, if we were to scale down to like the 5 minute, these would look like pretty big moves. And then price made a new high here. It made an indication, correction, and a continuation. So we can see that price is continuing to do that on the 1 hour chart. And it really gives price no reason to break down here other than it making an indication to the downside for me to then take a sell. Not that I'm going to be selling all-time highs, but yeah, that was kind of what I had to like let go of, and this is how I kind of walked myself through that process of letting go of that setup. And now we'll just go straight to talking about the setup that I did take. I'm pretty sure I marked these 2 levels out this morning, and I put an alert here, and I put an alert here, and then this was the previous high, yeah, because it's Tuesday today, and I'm just looking at the bottom here. I don't know if you can see on my mouses, but it's Tuesday today, so I was looking at yesterday's high, which was, oh, am I right? Yeah, am I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the days. I'm looking at like the previous day high instead of the actual swing highs. Like I was like, wait, isn't this the high? But no, it's not. Is it? Hold on. Yeah, no, I did work on the swing highs here. I got confused for a second. I was like, hold on, did I do this wrong? No, I didn't. I really should have checked that before, but I knew what my analysis was. But it's so good that I do these trade recap videos because I can actually pick up on these things and kind of question myself a little bit more. But anyway, price makes this new high here. It's a little bit choppy around this area, a lot of like indecision candles. But But yeah, it makes this high and mark out this high in the morning, and I'm just waiting for a retracement back below this level. So price kind of made a little retracement here, continued higher. I wasn't really too focused on this, I'm not going to lie to you. I was more focused on like the full move, because I could see that, okay, price is making higher highs, higher lows, and I wanted to see that big correction to like catch the liquidity or whatever. I just do this because I don't know if I'm saying the terms right. And then displace up and make a big move up. So we'll move down to the 15 minutes to get some more information. Okay, this is where price kind of made an indication correction continuation. Oh, yeah, price made this move yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I can't take an entry off of this. And I sat off the charts and I didn't take a trade. So I really was just waiting for that proper retracement back, because I didn't feel like this was a proper retracement back. And yeah, and then I got that full retracement back to this level. I saw a price go below here. It went below here and it produced this candle. I was specifically looking at this candle. Did it make on the 1 hour? No, it didn't. I think there's another time frame where it has. Anyway, continuing on. Price produced this candle here, and we can see, I can't remember what it's specifically called, but I know that it's saying that price went all the way down to here. Sellers managed to push it up. Sellers are in a low control and are taking back the buyers. So that kind of indicates that this correction is over from this candle. Now, obviously, I'm not going to take an entry off of this, which you can see. But what also was interesting to me was look at all of that buyer volume down the bottom, as well as with this candle. So it just tells me that buyers are kicking back in, and then price makes these two moves. Like the buyers kick in, they push price all the way back up, and sellers push it down. Buyers and sellers are fighting here. And then buyers get back into control, has a tiny sell-off back below this level, and then this is me kind of just reading into the story of what's happening, but there's another one of these similar candles where buyers managed to push it up, and buyers again had higher volume than the sellers, and that's when that continuation started. Obviously, I didn't just take that as an entry, but I was like, interesting to see what's going on here. And keep in mind, I had my alert set just above this level, so I was on the charts having a look when price was doing this, and then price made this little level where it's gone up, it's made a lower, higher low, and it only just really made a swing high, but I didn't really count it. But then you can see price goes up again, swing high, higher low, and then I was like, okay, this is definitely bullish structure on the 15-minute. Obviously I went down into the 5 minutes to see what else was going on, to see if I could get a little bit better structure going on. And then yeah, if we look here, we can see that price made this final higher lower high, and then after that it made a higher low, and then it made a higher high. And that's when I was like, I was feeling a little FOMO at this point, because I had my alerts set here, which you guys can see now. I'm just gonna delete that. I'm gonna delete all the alerts, I don't need them, because I already made that move. But yeah, I was starting to feel a little bit of FOMO around this area, because I was like, oh, price is going without me, like what the heck. And I had my alerts set here, and I was like, I had to like re-calm myself and be like, wait, this is price forming bullish structure, this is price forming continuation, and I need to just wait. So I waited for price to push above this high to make the lower high and then a higher high, and then I wanted to see price retrace back to this level, so I just sat out. And once price got above here, I was like, okay, let me just set an alert here, and let's see what happens when price goes back down to here, because I don't want to take an entry, and like it doesn't make sense for me to take an entry and just like ride that full breakout, even though I could have and I would have been fine, but it would have been lower probability. So I was like, okay, let me wait for the pullback, and I got this pullback and I was like, oh, should I take an entry? I didn't, thank God. But yeah, and then I waited for that full retracement, and then for price to form again another high low, and then I basically entered just around here after price retraced. And if you look at it like carefully, price is making an ICC setup on the lower time frames, and I was like, perfect. You can see that price making that what's called indication, is making that correction, and it's making a little bit of continuation. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take an entry here, and then I'm going to ride the trade up to here, and which was the previous high, which was the all-time high. So now price has formed a new all-time high, which is up here. But a lot of people ask me, I love this little arrow tool, a lot of people ask me, why is your stop loss like this? What's going on with your R to R? Like, what's going on here? What are you risking? Why are you risking this much? And I risk this much for a reason. Now, I could have, you can see here, there's like a deeper shaded line. My stop loss wasn't here, but I was like, I wonder what would happen if my stop loss was, I had it originally down here. So originally, when I took this entry, what was the low? The low was, okay, wait, hold on. Let me switch it to the higher time frame, because I don't want to be taking, I don't want to have my, what's it called, a stop loss at a 5-minute level. I want to have it at a 15-minute or a 1 hour level. So the next low is really here. This is where the low is of the higher time frame move, not just the 15-minute, even the 1 hour. The 1 hour, this is the low. This is the low that we're taking the continuation off of. So if price chose to break below here, we know that price is going to form a lower low, therefore invalidating my trade. Now I could, because we're basing it all on 1 hour, I could have my stop loss at the 15-minute low, because then we can see the price, because I obviously entered around here. We want to see price break above here to make a higher high, but I could have put my stop loss down here, which is why I tried it out. I was like, let me see like what happens if I put my stop loss here and if it actually makes a difference. And you can see that it did, and it never hit back down below here. It never ended up making a lower low. But the reason why it's all the way down here and not here is because price could have still made. Where's my puff tool? Where's my favorite tool? I need to start. Let me start, because I do this like every single trade recap, I swear. Hello? Why isn't it letting me? Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, I feel like I need to move my face now. Okay, if price, so I took my entry here, obviously. So if price made a lower high and made a lower low and kept forming this structure, it could come all the way back down here and then continue to go up. And that wouldn't mean anything. Like, that would mean nothing to my strategy, because it hasn't broken this low here. Because on a higher time frame, this is still a higher low. Now, would I like to see this higher low? Probably not. I would have rather the higher low to be, somewhere around here, at least above these candle closes, but it's still not breaking below this swing low. So therefore, the trade would still be valid. So why would I have my stop loss here? Because this is not the level where it invalidates my trade. This is the level where it invalidates my trade. If price goes below here, I don't even want to be in the trade. Like, take me out of that. Like, I don't want to be on it. Like, I'm clearly wrong. Price is making lower lows. I've either entered too early, or my setup was completely wrong, or it's just a part of the probabilities. But if price goes below here, I don't want to be in the trade. I don't want to be in the trade at all. But if price breaks below here, I'm going to be experiencing FOMO, because I'm like, why did I get out there? Anyway, I'm basically just answering my own question, because I did kind of test out putting a stop loss a little bit higher up. But really just to get that R to R. But I don't really care about R to R. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, typically, I'll tell you guys what I would do if I had a higher size. I would take out a 1-to-1 at this level, which is obviously my key level. So this would be my TP1. I'd take 50% of my position out and then let my position just ride out, let it do what it wants to do. And I would show you guys what I would watch. So what I would do is I would do what I did here. I'd move my stop loss from here to here. And then once price continues pushing up, move my stop loss from here to here. And then I'd move my stop loss to, where's the next one? Here. Move my stop loss up here. And then I move it up here, up until, and then only once price breaks swing lows will I be getting out. So I just want to see price continuing to break swing highs, and then I would get out. That's what I've done back testing when I've had a smaller position where I've been able to put on, like, say 0.02 lot size, but at the moment I can only put 0.01. I'll literally show you guys, because I use a lot size calculator. Ta-da! 0.0, I rounded it up to 1, so that's why I got a little bit more than $20, but you can see only $20 risk, only $2,000 count. So anyway, let's go into TradeZilla. So this is the trade that I took. Obviously got $24. Whoop-de-doo, yay! That's like a good lunch. That's a good 3 marches, so yeah, I'm happy with that. But it's literally just going to be reinvested into my trading account. Like, it's not going anywhere. But anyway, it helped me experience a lot of emotions. We're going to go through the emotions that I felt. I connected it to my ICC playbook. I don't really know what that stuff means. I got 0.41% ROI. Yeah, that's cool, I think. But yeah, okay. My little tags. So I moved my stop loss too early. I broke my rules. Now these rules were on the trade management side, so it wasn't particularly like the execution of the trade. So the trade itself was all good. I'll show you guys as well. The trade itself was a good trade. Where's my playbook? Hello? Okay, this is my playbook. All of my rules in my playbook have been met. Everything was met. When I exited my trade, everything was met. Just on the trade management side of things, I got up here. I think it was this candle right here. And I was like, if this trade reverses on me, I'm actually going to lose my mind, because I lost my last 2 trades that I took on a live account. I took a win on paper trading on my last trade that I did. That was because I wasn't confident. And then I kind of built up a little bit of confidence because I took that paper trade. And then, and then I could actually enter with a little bit more confidence today. But when it got so close to my TP, I was like, I don't want to take another loss, like, because that's going to be a lot on my overall P&L. Like 3 losses in a row. Like, I didn't want that. So I moved my stop loss to break even on my MT4. That was not a proud moment. Even though price obviously ended up going there, I'm not going to ignore the fact that I still did that because it obviously tells a lot. And I said the whole thing about my stop loss, but I still ended up moving it to break even, which was not the point where my trade would have been invalidated and I would have experienced FOMO, and I would have wanted to re-enter if price did end up reversing back to me, but staying within that stop loss area. And then I also hesitated on the entry. I do that a lot with a lot of my entries because entering into the market is sometimes a little bit scary, especially because I take it really seriously. I know other people might not take it as seriously. Hello, why isn't this working? Oh, I'm doing it wrong, it's my fault. But a lot of people might not take it seriously. I take it really seriously because each trade that I take, it needs to be an A+ setup, it needs to be really good. And I take a lot of pride to myself, from myself. I don't really care if I show you guys a loss, but I take a lot of pride personally. And when I sit through my journals, I hold myself accountable a lot for every single trade that I take. So I need to, I don't want to be taking bad. I can't even remember what I was talking about. I'm tired, guys. It's 11:11, but we'll go through some of the notes. So obviously, I did a buy for an ICC setup at all-time highs. Let's just skip all of this because it doesn't really matter. I obviously have my screenshots there. Okay, key takeaways. When price wants to show you something, it will. So price showed me the ICC setup. It showed me that price had already done the corrections on all of those other highs that I didn't take a trade off of. So price told me that I was ready to do an ICC setup. It was very, very, very clear. My alerts and my levels were hit, and the bullish structure was made on the continuation. It was very, very, very clear. And there will always be opportunities in the market, so don't rush. So me being so patient kind of reinforced the fact that I don't need to rush, and that what I'm doing is right, and just to wait for the market to give me opportunity. And then what I'll do better tomorrow, if a trade appears, I'll take the trade, but I won't watch through the whole thing, because I think when I was watching through the whole thing and I could see price was getting so close to my TP, and I did end up moving that stop loss. That was because I was watching the whole thing. There was no need for me to watch the whole thing, because once I decided, that's it, I'm getting off the charts, I need to stop. And once I had already done the damage and moved my stop loss, done the damage, I didn't exit out early. I'm still doing good at the end of the day, but it wasn't a part of my plan, so it's still important to hold myself accountable for it and not come on here and lie and be like, yeah, guys, I took the perfect entry, everything went fine, my emotions were great. No, obviously I'm not going to do that, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, I won't watch the whole thing next time. I'll just wait for my alerts to be hit, because once I got off the chart, I saw my alert was hit, and I was like, okay, cool, TP was hit, love that. And I didn't even look. Actually, I lied, I did look. But I didn't directly look at the money that I made. I just wanted to see what price was doing. But yeah, the mistakes, I noticed the setup was really good, but just stressing during the trade because I was watching it. I really should just waited and let price do what it wants to do, because I already knew where it was headed. So there you go. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm pretty happy about that. That's first win of the month on trade I've taken this month. So last week I took no trades. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap. It's a little bit long. I'm not used to documenting actual trades. I'm usually used to talking about no trade days, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be filming a trading diaries episode talking a bit more. And yeah, I hope you guys had a great trading day yourselves. Let me know if you guys caught that same setup. If not, let me know what setups you did end up taking. And yeah, I wish you guys the best for the rest of your trading week, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Bye bye.